welcome back to my channel and welcome to MindMap, an ASMR series that helps you to focus on your mind with tools and inspiration to help you with your mental health and well-being. This is the first episode of this series, so stay tuned for more. I'm Infinitely ASMR and I make videos for your sleep, relaxation, and mental health, so do subscribe to join the Infinity family. Let's see what's on my phone. One thing I make sure that my phone has is a clear screen at all times. So if you see here, I have no apps other than my phone app, my camera app, Spotify, and messages. Everything else is on the next screen. So let me get So we're starting from my clear, clean background here. I've gone for the pretty cliche by now marble look, but I do like it. I tend to change my backgrounds to something minimal or clear, and if I'm going through something, then I'll put a relaxing or inspiring quote. On my next screen, I have all of my different apps, and they're all organized into folders. And you can see there's a health folder that we're going to be looking at. Excuse my badges if that stresses you out. And let's get straight into it. So there are a few apps that I use in order to get a day-to-day check-in with myself and make sure that I'm thinking about my mental health. And there are a few apps that I use when I need that extra help. Some of these I have logged out of so I can show you the setup process. And one thing to mention is that this video is not sponsored by any of these apps, but I do work with BetterHelp as an affiliate. So if you see a link in my description, I do get a little bit of commission if you sign up through that. Full disclosure. Okay, so let's get started with the first app. The first app that I use on a regular basis is Mood Notes. Mood Notes is an app that allows you to keep a short journal of how you're doing, and beyond just allowing you to keep a journal, it actually helps you with specific tips that stem from CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy. You can see that I have some asterisks here. That's because I wanted to conceal some of my private details that I've kept in my journal. But let's go through how you would use this app. So first of all, you are able to add some of your moods and also see some of your trends. So that's how I've been feeling, and get some insights as well. So this is my overall mood and how I'm doing. And you can see that I'm happy most of the time, but then there are also periods where I'm not doing so well. This is quite nice because you're able to see how you've been doing, and also if you want, you can track it in a little bit more detail. So for 3 months, for example, how have I been doing lately? And I can see that actually, yeah, perhaps I'm going through something in that time. So I use this as a way to see and check in when I do need that extra help, for example, through therapy. And I can also see these thinking traps. This is really what makes this app really special, because it's able to tell you a few ideas as to, let's see, my overall thinking traps, otherwise catastrophizing becomes a huge one. So you can see which of the thinking traps that you might be falling into are most prominent and most prevalent for you. So what's a thinking trap? I have made a video explaining them in a bit more detail. In a roleplay, actually, I made a therapist roleplay, so I'll link that below. But in the meantime, let's have a look here. So let's say we're feeling really badly today. You can add some detail. Here's where you write your reason. You can select the feelings that you're feeling and how badly you feel, or how well if it's a positive. And then this is what makes this app special for me. This is the check a thought. So it helps you to identify what are some of the problems. So for example, you could say, I feel as though everything is stressing me out and it's never going to get better. I don't feel that way right now, but it's happened in the past. This is what makes this app amazing. So it gives you the different traps that you might be falling into. So for example, all or nothing thinking, seeing events in absolute black and white. Absolutely, I'm seeing everything that's stressing me out. But also, fortune telling, making negative predictions about the future. So when I say it's never going to get better, it's definitely a way of falling into a trap. And there are quite a few of these. So when you save, it's actually going to give you some suggestions on how to deal with this. So for example, all or nothing thinking, what we should do is think about, rather than 0, 100%, a continuum. And for fortune telling, also think about why are we making these predictions, and it gives you advice to see how things turn out. So it's quite a nice way to get a little bit of that help. What's really made this app worthwhile for me is using it over time, because I was able to see which patterns I fall into, and I started training myself to recognize those thinking traps in my day-to-day. So that's mood notes for you. Now, if you want to talk to somebody but you can't afford it, or you'd rather not spend money on it right now, one app that I found useful, especially when I have panic attacks in the middle of the night and no one's awake, is 7 Cups. So I've gone ahead and started from scratch to show you how it works. But basically what this app does, it allows you to talk to some folks who volunteer as peer supporters. You can chat with them about the concerns that you have. So let's say relieve anxiety. And you create a username. Let's sign up as infinitely ASMR. The amount of times I misspell my own email address. Oops, I got Hebrew. And so once I signed up, maybe I should call myself something else. So let's go with infinitely ASMR. Once you go inside of the app, it actually allows you to talk to people. So for example, I'm going to see if I can chat with a listener. This is always free. And there's someone, they tell you that we're on a waiting list right now. But the cool thing is, at one point, a real person called a listener will come up and chat with you, which would be really great. And they do make sure that they give you something to read or look at while you're waiting, which is really great. So I'm not going to try and chat with anyone quite right now, but there are quite a few people in here. So you can see all these different people that come in and try to help. Let's see if we can chat with someone. Okay, well, at the moment no one's available, but I have used this app quite a few times, and eventually you can chat with someone. Again, this is really great when you just need to talk to someone and either everyone's unavailable or you rather not mention what you're going through with somebody that you know. I really wanted to talk about the Calm app, but for some reason I can't get it to work right now. I do highly recommend it. It is my go-to for those moments when I just want to quickly get a moment of meditation. In fact, let's see if I can get it onto Safari here, so at least I can show you how it works. So when you get to Calm, there's always this kind of background that is either, you can choose what you want, a forest or an ocean or something like that, and you can either have a guided meditation or just some calming background. Now what I use this app for is when I feel really overwhelmed, let's say at work or in a situation where I just really need a break. And I plug in my headphones, I go somewhere quiet or even at my desk, and I close my eyes and just take at least 5 minutes. You can do a 5-minute meditation, and it really helps you recenter. So that's how I use Calm. They do have other features too that you can use, such as different programs. I tend to use that less, but I have in the past, and they're quite good. Another good app for meditation is, I just opened it, Headspace. Headspace is great because they do have some packs and more guided types of programs. So you can see there are some single meditations you could have for different kinds of situations that you might be feeling or in, including sleeping and unwinding, etc. But then they have packs, which is really cool. For example, you can meditate on specific things like health, like happiness, working, all sorts of things like that. That really, they keep adding more and more content. The app is absolutely gorgeous. And you can explore what you would like. You can learn a lot through this. So what I love in this app is that there's a lot of educational material. They explain things, they give you tools that you can use in other situations, and if you get into a routine of listening to it every day, I did their sleep program, you really feel that you're gaining a lot of information and growing a lot from it. So there we go. So that is Headspace. Now I have a few apps that I've also used for online counseling too. And one of them is BetterHelp, like I mentioned, so I'll show you how you get started with BetterHelp. What BetterHelp do that I love is that they work on making sure that you have a specific therapist that works for you. So you guys know I'm 30. They ask you different questions, and at the end of it, they pair you with a therapist, and then you can have a subscription that allows you to talk to real qualified therapists and get on a counseling program, which is really cool. I think therapy is something that still a lot of people have various issues accessing. It could be finding someone close to you or someone you get on with close to you. It could be a cost thing, could be a privacy thing. So the fact that there's technology to access it online is incredible. So I'm just going to quickly buzz through this onboarding for you. And at the end, you will see. Okay, so you do need to sign up to use it. So I won't take you through all of it, but I will say it's worth looking into BetterHelp if you are looking to have therapy, especially in the US. You'll see them talking to a lot of different ASMR artists. They are definitely well advertised, and I hope that this means that more people get access to therapy, more people feel brave enough and open enough to try therapy. I think sometimes it can feel like such a big thing, but with these kinds of platforms, it's easier to start. Now, I also have an app I've been using lately. This is just me chatting with my therapist that I have a session with next week. This app is called Counseling. It's by a company called Minds for Life, and it's here in the UK so far, and I think it's only on iOS. But this app is kind of a mix, so it does let you track your mood as well, and it has these cute little animations and see how you've been doing. But what I use it most for is actually chatting with a therapist, and so you can chat in a chat like this or schedule a video session as well. And these are all licensed mental health professionals too. Now, I'm someone who's gone on and off therapy in different periods of my life, and at the moment, with everything going on with the wedding and work and winter as well, it's good to be able to go in and just have a little bit of support to chat through things And I find that therapists can give you tools and advice that you don't get from friends. And also there's a structure to it. So you go and you talk about something, you have that discipline. You don't necessarily have to rely on willpower. You may not have that much of when you're not feeling well. So I'm a huge fan of therapy for sure. Now, some other apps that I use for well-being. I use 2 apps called Treatwell and Massage. Massage is actually urban massage, and they allow you to book a massage to your home. This is here in London, and I use this all the time. If you want to try it in the UK, I can definitely give you a code. I'll post it in the description box, and we can both get something out of it. Oops. The other app I use is Treatwell. So Treatwell allows you to book beauty treatments anywhere you are in the UK, and I use it for things like pamper sessions, my nails, spas, facials. And what I'll do is, if I have a particularly difficult day, I'll go in and I'll just book something for myself, just a small pamper appointment. It just gives me something to look forward to and something to just enjoy and get back to feeling good about. Another app I use is the Babylon Health GP at Hand app. This is an app that allows people here in the UK who are on the National Health Service to talk to doctors for free. And it's basically a replacement to going to the doctor, and it's completely free. So I'm not going to go into this because it has a lot of my personal information, and it's also more of a physical health app, although you can absolutely talk to your family doctor about any mental health concerns, and you can through this app as well. But I really wanted to mention it because a lot of people put off going to the doctor either because they're busy or because they're worried or because they can't get an appointment. So if you're here in the UK and you haven't heard of GP at Hand, I absolutely recommend looking into it, and I'll put it in the description below. I know that my fiance hates going to the doctor, so being able to quickly talk to someone within 20 minutes instead of waiting several days means that he puts it off less. And then another app that I use is Clue, and this is for all of us ladies. So this app allows you to track your menstrual cycle. And the way that this refers to well-being for me is that, first of all, I like to plan and know what's going on, and I like to reduce the anxiety of knowing whether or not I'm regular or whether everything is fine. If I have spotting, if I have anything that concerns me, cramps at the time of the month that I'm not used to it, I track it all in here. So when I go to the doctor, it allows me to quickly see a history of when everything's gone on, and I can scroll back and check things. The other way that it helps me is I do know that during my ovulation, I get some cramping, and also obviously there's the period where I can feel hormonal or tired. So it helps me to make sure that on those days I don't schedule anything crazy. I give myself time to rest. And I think well-being is partly about knowing your limitations, knowing when you need that extra TLC, knowing when you need to take a break, recognizing it, accepting it, and letting yourself indulge or letting yourself take a break. That's the biggest thing for me with any of these apps, is the cycle of awareness and then the response to whatever it is that you found out through your awareness. So Calm and Mood Notes and Headspace, and to an extent BetterHelp and counseling allow you to have, and Clue as well, they help you to see where you're at, but they also help you to come in and get either advice or information or a real person to talk to or a professional to talk to. And through that, you kind of can make sure that you have a routine and a constant attention being given to your mental health. I think that's really, really key. I've been in situations in the past where I've waited too long until I wasn't doing well, and by then I wasn't feeling great, my energy was depleted. So what I try to do now is create a routine with all these different apps and journaling and so on that allow me to continuously monitor how I'm doing. So this concludes today's episode. I hope you found something beneficial or practical that you can try for yourself. If you have, please let me know down below in the comments, and also please post any questions or themes that you would like me to cover in future episodes of Mindfulness. Have an infinitely relaxing day, night, afternoon, morning, wherever you are. I love you all. I support you and accept you exactly how you are, and you hope that you can do that for yourself and others.